I've been doing a lot of traveling around and been coming into contact with a lot of people. And what I realize is that the majority of people are stuck in a mental prison. They're stuck in an environment where they can't fully be who they want to be, but they don't want to fully embrace who they're told they should be. And so they live in limbo in this in between area where they are very unhappy with their existence. That's why most people have to go out every weekend and get drunk. That's why most people have to sometimes get drunk during the week. That's why most people are overweight. They stress eat. That's why many people are spending money they don't have to make themselves feel better. That's why so many people are caught up in the name brands and all of these overpriced items that people buy because they're looking for some semblance of reality when it comes to how they should view themselves. And so they try to dress it up on the outside, but all of these things are internal. You can't escape a mental prison by doing things physically. You got to go inside that mental prison and see why you have checked yourself into a mental prison. See, it's not like a physical prison, not like a criminal court where you have committed a crime and now you got to do the time. People are deciding, they are making the decision to go into a mental prison and live in a way that's counterproductive to what they want to be. So today I want to discuss with you 15 ways that you can escape your mental prison or stay out of your mental prison if you've already escaped. Because at some point in our lives, we were all in a mental prison of some sort. All of us. And that's just how it is. So without further ado, let's get into this thing. Now, I got a couple of elephants in the room. The first one, you got to adhere to the serenity prayer. If you can't do this, none of these things I tell you is going to do. What's the serenity prayer? God grant me the serenity to change the things I can change and accept the things I can't change and the wisdom to know the difference. Most people can't let go of things they can't control. Social media has had a way of pulling people into things that never would have mattered to them before. So you're scrolling and you're commenting and you're getting drawn into this back and forth with someone you don't even know because you don't agree with what they're saying. Well, if you stay out of the mix, you won't know what they're saying. I'm not telling you that I'm involved in it and I can just beat it and I don't get involved in anything. No, I stay away from it because the urge to comment that will lure you into this back and forth with people who have nothing better to do with their lives than avoid the fact that they're in a mental prison. People who scroll social media all day are trapped in a mental prison. They're trying to escape. So they go into this make believe world that doesn't exist, where they can just see what they want to see and enjoy what they want to enjoy and indulge in what they want to indulge in, or live vicariously through someone else who is enjoying something that they wish they could enjoy, or portray the image of enjoying that thing. Because remember, we are talking about an arena where you could be whatever you want to be. And now with the advent of AI and its progression and advancement as rapidly as it is, man, it's going to be crazy out here. So I say stay tuned into the real world. And how you do that, you delve off into the serenity prayer. Don't worry about the things you can't change. Change the things you can and then go about your life and focus on other things. All you should ever focus on is the things you can change, the things you can affect, the things you can control. Elephant number two goes right hand in hand with elephant number one. I kind of spoke on it a little bit. Stop letting social media influence you. Not influence you, just basically influence because social media influences us all. Before I bought my bike, before I bought my new bike, I was on social media looking for a bike. I was searching. No, I was looking at videos, I was looking at reviews, I was looking at owner testimonials and all of that. So social media will influence you, but what you can't let it do is influence a change in the direction of your life if your life is already headed towards your purpose. In other words, you can't let social media pull you away from your purpose and make you focus on other things. You can't let social media pull you away from the things that are important to you and make you focus on things that are unimportant. You have to use it as the tool that it is. That's all it is. It's a tool. If you don't need anything, you don't need to be on social media. If you're looking for information, that's where it is. Information is online. If you want information, it's online. No longer do we have to go to a library or anything like that. You can just go online and find the information. But if you don't have any information that you need to find at that particular moment, or any information that you were waiting to hear for that particular moment, man, you gotta go do something productive. If you're not doing something productive, you're doing something destructive. At the very least, you're doing something counterproductive. So let's get into this thing, man. Hey, listen, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Let's take a dive into it. I'm gonna leave this chat open for a little while, man, until we get some foolishness in here. Then I'm gonna close it because it's been so long since I've been in here, man. I think I'll reward everybody with this one. Tomorrow, when we come back on, the chat won't be open. So if you want to be in the chat tomorrow, man, go ahead and join the live chat. All right. The first thing you have to do, and this is where the 50-50 split happens, where some people just stay in their mental prison and other people don't. First thing you got to do is turn your life over to God. That's the first thing you got to do. Because whatever you think you want, however think you're going to get it, you're looking for blessings. You want blessings. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put your hand to, you want God to bless it. So you can get a result, or you can get a result that is perfect. You can get a result that has no sorrow. The word says when a thing cometh from the Lord, no sorrow cometh therewith. So that means you don't get a lot of money, and then you got to worry about people trying to rob you and jack you. That means you don't get a big pretty house, and then you got to worry about floods and fires and all of that. When a thing cometh from the Lord, no sorrow cometh therewith, and you need your blessings to not have any extra duty attached to them. You don't want to put in the work to get the blessing. Then you get the blessing, and you still got to put in work because the thing that you thought was a blessing was just something that you worked for. I'm not telling you that you can't get anything from your hard work. You can. You can get something from your hard work. Hard work and dedication pays off. But if you want the ultimate payoff, it's kind of like going to the gym. You can go to the gym and work out like crazy. But if you want to optimize your results, you need to get your diet in order as well. I won't even say diet. I hate that word. You get your food consumption in order as well. If you're doing the work, but you're not in control of your food consumption, then you have problems still. You can get a result just by working out. But if you want to optimize your result, then you got to lock in on top. And so what I'm telling you, if you want to optimize the results that you get in life, then you got to go ahead and turn your life over to God. How do you do that? Just live a life that's pleasing to God. Apply the word to your life. Live the life you know you're supposed to live. Stop doing things you know you shouldn't do. Stop being places you know you shouldn't be. Stop dealing with people you know you shouldn't deal with. That's how you do it, because I'm going to tell you, if you got the wrong people around you, and we'll get into this later, if you have the wrong people around you, your blessings are going to stay away. When God is blessing you, he's not blessing them. Some people in relationships with people that they should have been let go a long time ago. And so God is holding blessings from you because they're not supposed to take part in those blessings. So we'll get into the type of people you need to keep around you a little bit later on, man. So let's take a dive in it, man. Okay, we got my boy UK Prince up in here. Salute to you, man. I see Ronan. See 8-Man in here. Tay Parker. Abdul Rahim. Ali Abdul Rahim. Salute to you. Edward, I see you, man. Stephen, I see you. All right, let's get into this thing, man. So once you do that, because the rest of these things, you can only do that if you are living a quality life, because you're not going to be able to do these things because you're going to be so caught up. So turn your life over to God and start living the life that's pleasing to God. That way you'll be able to do some of these things, because without that, you're going to be too caught up in the world. You got to detach yourself from your lust and things you chase to feel good in the world, because some of these things are very tough to do. And some of these things, as you make the changes in your life that don't require you to cut people off, it's going to make people self-withdraw. They're going to withdraw themselves from you because your life for them is too complicated. You see, it's real simple just to go do whatever you want to do. When you start to show discipline and you start to have a standard, not only for others, but for yourself, then people start to withdraw from that because it's too complicated. You're making a big deal out of nothing, and people tell you anything. So let's get into it. Number 2. Honor yourself as your prized possession. And you do that with self-loyalty. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to your goals. Be loyal to your dreams. Be loyal to your outlooks. Be loyal to your spirit, man. You got to be loyal to yourself. Your first loyalty is to yourself. Honor yourself as your prized possession. That means you don't put anyone before you. I don't care who it is. You have to honor yourself. Don't love yourself. Love is a fleeting word. That's a feeling. You can love yourself, then hate yourself for something you did, like you tried to destroy yourself on purpose. Honor yourself. That will keep you from doing certain things to yourself. You can't honor God until you honor yourself. You don't know what honoring is until you honor yourself. The vow of the Nazarite puts you in a state of mind that has you honoring yourself before you honor God. So you do without some things. You stop eating this, stop consuming that, stop doing this thing. You let your hair grow. You stop worrying about the trivial superficial things of life. So honor yourself as your prized possession with self-loyalty, man. Be loyal to yourself. Never put yourself in harm's way on somebody else's behalf. Never do something that benefits somebody else but doesn't benefit you. Never put yourself in a situation where people can take advantage of you and you're okay with that. Never do these things. And that's what self-loyalty is. Self-loyalty is self-protection, self-direction, self-discretion. You understand? That's what it is. Self-investment, self-positive energy ingestment. That's what it is. Number 3, take care of your body. Your body is the temple in which the Spirit of the Lord dwells. Take care of your body. It's not a hard thing to do. Once you decide to be loyal to yourself, then you can take care of your body because you don't put poison into your body. See, you can be loyal to the feeling of drinking and drunkenness and being inebriated and all of that, or you can be loyal to yourself and take care of your body. You can look at something that you know is a toxin and stop putting it in your body. You can look at sugar and stop putting it in your body. There's enough sweet fruit out here, man. I'm in the South, man. It's getting warm. You know it's watermelon season right now. Watermelon, cantaloupes, all these things, and I ain't got to worry about buying from anywhere. I can buy watermelon from here straight out of a watermelon patch. You know what I mean? If you're in California, man, most of the organic items that we get in grocery stores come from California and Colorado. You got to understand, man, you got to take care of your body because without your body, you are nobody. Everything that you want to do, everything that you want to accomplish, if your body break down on you, none of those things happen. So take care of your body because it houses your spirit, and your spirit is what connects you to the Most High. So you can't turn your life over to God and honor yourself as your prized possession until you take care of your body first. First level of discipline is to take care of your body. First level, get proper sleep. Not rest, sleep. Rapid eye movement level. Get proper sleep. Stay properly hydrated. They just say, hey, drink water, drink water. No, water is hydration. Stay properly hydrated. There should never be a point unless you out trapped somewhere in a desert or something, or you might cross that line a little bit if you out being active, like out in the sun or something, but you should never be dehydrated. Dehydration is a state of lack of self-care. You don't love yourself if you let yourself become dehydrated. The majority of your body is made up of water. Don't do that to yourself. Do that. Pull yourself away. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stay away from things that weren't created by God. I don't care. Once they take it and do something else with it, it's not something God created anymore. It's not natural. There are enough natural things to consume for you to take care of your body. You don't have to be eating all crazy. There's enough natural things to consume out here. I'm telling you, there are. Number 4, protect your energy. What do I mean by protect your energy? I mean, keep stupid people away from around you. Keep ignorant people away from around you. Don't go to places where violent people hang. Don't go to places where crazy people go. Don't go to places where people who don't care about life go. People who don't have any value for life or value for legacy or even value for freedom. Stay away from those people. Protect your energy. You got to put your energy in a cocoon. So anyone who doesn't feed your energy because their energy is positive, you got to keep them away from around you, and you got to expedite that process as quickly as you can. You can't think like the man you're supposed to think like when you got all these crazy people around you putting all these other thoughts and ideas in the air. Because I don't care how strong you think you are, you surround yourself with the wrong people, you're going to have the wrong ideas. That's why the Most High tells us don't keep the company of wicked men. Because if you keep the company of wicked men, you will become a wicked man. None of us is so strong that we can just go up against a room. We can't do it. Don't think you can. Don't think you're so great that you can do that because you find yourself trapped in a situation where you're locked up in prison somewhere for something you knew you didn't have any business doing, and you hate it, while everybody else who got caught with you, they love it. They was living a life that was going to end up in prison or a cemetery. But you were heading a different direction. That's why, man, if people are doing a certain thing, man, hey, listen, I don't support things I don't agree with. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how long I've known you. I don't support things that I don't agree with. I don't support things that don't align with me, that don't align with my character, that don't align with those things. I do not play that game. Why? Because it's not worth it. Whatever you're going to lose it's possible you may not ever gain it again. So you got to put yourself in the mindset where you're trying not to lose anything that's good. You think about this, you put your hands together and you think about all of us have different size hands. My hands are pretty big. You can hold a certain amount of things in your hand. If you keep piling things on, things are going to start falling off the side, right? So you got to make sure that you keep the proper amount of positivity in your life. And every time you let negativity in, you start losing positivity. Positivity and negativity can't exist in the same realm. So you got to protect your energy by thinking that, okay, if I want this life, then I got to value this life like it's life or death, because it is. Because you may not die a physical death, but if you die a mental or emotional death, sometimes that's worse than dying a physical death. You die a mental death where you don't even want to be here no more, but you stuck here. You die an emotional death where you don't love nothing, nobody, not even yourself, not even God. Come on, man. What's better? To live that way or just be gone? But this is why you got to protect your energy, because once you stop protecting your energy and you give access to the world, then you don't know what you're going to attract. You don't know what you're going to attract. And you got to be firm about protecting your energy. Watch what you consume. The things you watch on television, some of those things you shouldn't even be watching. Murderous, violent films that show a lot of bloodshed and all of that, man, you shouldn't be watching that. Not if you're a wise man. A wise man don't watch that foolishness. Why are you watching it? What's it going to amount to? Let me ask you this. All the time you've been living in your whole life, even when you were a kid now, I'm talking about mostly when you were a kid, you remember how you watch a scary movie and have nightmares? But you could watch a lion, a pride of lions eat a zebra on a documentary and and don't even think about it again. Just have questions about it. Why? Because as violent as that scene is, it's natural. It's not something that was concocted that our eyes should never see. Some of the things we watched, our eyes should never see them. Some of the things we listen to, our ears should never hear them. There's too much beauty in the world. There's too much positivity in the world for us ever to surround ourselves with negativity, even if it's negativity that we draw in by choice, like on the trick box. And that's one of the greatest things, because energy, you got to think about all of this is energy. When you watch the TV, it's energy. When you're on your phone, it's energy. We right here right now, it's energy. Y'all able to see me and hear me, and I'm able to look at y'all and see y'all comments in the chat because of energy. So if you allow the thoroughfares that negative energy uses to enter into your world and enter into your environment, it's there. So now you could do about it. And so I want y'all to understand that protecting that energy, and it's not just your intimate relationships, you got to protect that energy from everyone and everything. It's okay to put yourself on a pedestal. You know what I mean? And not a cocky, pompous pedestal like, hey, I'm better than everyone, but put yourself on a pedestal because what you have to protect is more valuable than anything they got. So we don't put ourselves on the pedestal because, I'm better than you. I'm so much greater than you. We don't do that. We put ourselves on the pedestal because we like, man, I don't know what y'all got down there, but I do not want what I got up here to be sullied by what y'all got down there. I don't want the filth that you have to touch the goodness that I'm trying to protect. It's just about self-protection. That's all, man. Number 5, create a routine for the important things in your life. This is something that I had one of my partners. We talk about this a lot. We got a lot of things going on that we're trying to accomplish, a lot of moves we're trying to make, not just for ourselves, but to leave our, a wise man, a great man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So just trying to create some generational wealth and focus on some generational health and do it with some generational stealth. You know what I mean? So we look at these things. You got to create a routine for the important things in your life. If you don't do that, you're going to waste more time than you would think you're going to waste. You're wasting time that you don't even know you're wasting. The important thing is your life should have a routine. You should know whether you train at home or you train in the gym, you should know when you're going to train tomorrow already. You should know when you're going to train Friday because it's already a routine. You know what I mean? Your morning routine. You should know your morning. People who have a morning routine to get ready are rarely late for work. People who don't have a morning routine are almost always late. If you don't have a routine You're going to waste time. People who don't have a morning routine can wake up 30 minutes early and still be late to work. Think about that. You're late to work. You not just a little bit. You're like 5 minutes late to work every day. You wake up 30 minutes early and you're still 5 minutes late to work. Right? Because you don't have a routine. You need to have a routine. We function in a time frame, right? We're on a time scale, 24-hour time scale. We need to allot for all of our time. Even your free time, your chill time, you need to know when your chill time gonna be. This is just what it is. If not, you're gonna waste time. And if you waste time, how can you say that you value the thing that God gives you when the greatest thing he ever gives you is time? Think about that. What can you tell God about wasting the time that he's giving you? You know how many people didn't wake up this morning? You know how many people won't wake up and won't wake up tomorrow morning? But you have the audacity to waste time? You can't afford to waste time. It's not your time to waste. You're borrowing God's time and you're going to waste it. No. Prioritize the important things in your life and create a routine for them. When you create a routine for something, that's your indication to yourself that, hey, this is important. We got to do this and we got to do it at this time, because if we can't do it at that time because we got something else to do. That way you don't push your morning routine over into the afternoon. Why? Because you already got things on the schedule for the afternoon. The most efficient aspects of our life run on a schedule like that. The military runs on a schedule like that. Your job, wherever you work, your job runs on a schedule like that. You go at a certain time, you break for lunch at a certain time, you leave at a certain time every day. Now think about this. If you work an 8-hour shift somewhere, look at how little time you have left. You have no choice but to make the rest of your day a routine, because it's already a big, long routine. You got to build out the rest of your day. You know, I'm in the household, the children, school-age children don't even have a bedtime, brothers. Children be up, sometimes they be up at 10, sometimes they be up at midnight. They might go to bed at night. They're real tired. They go to bed at 8. The next night they may be up at 11:30. They don't have a routine. And so they don't have a morning routine. Everybody's all groggy and grumpy in the morning because there's no routine. Get set in a routine and your body will appreciate it. Your mind will appreciate it because there's less things you got to think about. I tell people all the time, I have consultation with people sometimes, and they are wasting time in the morning trying to figure out what to wear. Think about this. They're late to work, getting in trouble at work now because they can't get there on time, but they're in the morning thinking about something to wear. I say, man, treat yourself like a school kid. On the weekend, iron all your work clothes and hang them in the closet. And you could put a note on them. And you can put a sticky note on them and say, well, every day, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Do it like that. But get that stuff out of the way so when your week come up, you don't have to worry about preparing. Don't prepare for Monday on Monday morning. Why are you preparing for Monday on Monday morning? Even if you do this every night, prepare for Wednesday on Tuesday night. Prepare for Thursday on Wednesday night. Prepare for tomorrow tonight. You can't prepare for your day on the day of. You need to be on it that day. You need to be rolling. Number 6, stop regretting the past. So many people are slaves to the past. So many people are prisoners of the past. So many people are trapped in the past. Man, the past is gone. I'm quite sure you've paid whatever due you need to pay for the past. And I'm not talking about the distant past. I'm talking about if you did something last week that set you back, okay, it's gone now. Learn the lesson, don't do it again, and get yourself together. You got to move forward now. You can't be focusing on, you mean tell me this week you still think about last week? Well, what you doing this week? You got to have tough skin, not just for the world outside, but you got to have tough skin for yourself. Because here's what you got to do. You got to be your own biggest critic. I'm my own worst critic. I'm my own worst critic. That's why I'm never gonna be a lard butt. I'm never gonna. Listen, I'm never gonna be my 600-pound life. I can't do it. I'm my own worst critic. Listen, man. You tell me I'm looking good. I'm liable to go hit the gym. You can't fool me. You know what I mean? Hey, man. You tell me, man. Hey, boy, you getting lean, man. I'm going to the gym right then. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, I ain't going to the gym right then, but I'm looking forward to my next session. You know what I mean? Looking forward to my next session. So, because you have to understand that regretting the past is it's a recipe for fools. Fools eat that recipe. Fools eat the food of the past. Hey man, the past is the past. You know what I mean? The only problem with the past is when you don't learn from the past. And we'll talk about that later. But man, the past, hey man, I don't even deal with people who try to lock me into the past. If I haven't seen you in years and the first thing you want to talk to me about is the past, I'm finna walk away real quick. I, yeah, I remember that, man. But hey, look, man, I got to go ahead and make a move, man. I'm behind schedule, man. Which is true. We always behind schedule. Cause when you think about the time you've already wasted in life, I look at myself as already behind schedule. All the time I've wasted put me behind, so I'm forever behind. So I don't have no time to waste right now. But you stop regretting the past, man. Stop letting people pin you to the past. People who want to hold you to the past, man, cut them off. It don't matter who it is. It could be your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, your son, your daughter, your grandmama, your best friend. It don't matter who it is. You try to hold me to the past, I'm cutting you off. What's done is done. Ain't nothing I can do about it to fix it. Now, if you want to move forward and we try to remedy a situation, fine, let's do that. If you don't want to do that, you're not finna make me pay you for the past. You just not finna do that. If God has forgiven me, you don't stand a chance. Whatever I did, if God has forgiven me, you as a person don't stand a chance of trying to pin me on that. It ain't gonna happen. You need to go get some counseling or something, whatever it is. But you're not gonna pin me to the past, because here's the problem with regretting the past. When you regret the past, you left the tools in those situations that you need to move forward. That's how you get stuck in the past. You know what I mean? You get stuck in the past because the tools and weapons that you need to glean from those situations, you didn't do it because you're still guilt tripping and you're letting other people guilt trip and you're still feeling bad and you're still wishing you could do it over. Well, listen, there aren't any do-overs. You don't get a do-over. You can move on down the line and try to fix it and try to make sure that thing doesn't happen again, but you don't get a do-over. It just doesn't happen. Life doesn't work that way. And so stop regretting the past and stop letting people make you regret the past. Because the biggest travesty is most of the times we let people make us regret the past. And we simply can't do that. Number 7, stop being friends with people who don't like, respect, or appreciate you. Because you're their friend, they're not yours. You know who doesn't like you. You know who doesn't respect you. You know who doesn't appreciate you. You know these things. So for you to still be trying to entice people to befriend you when you know they don't like you, respect you, or appreciate you, it's fool's gold. It's a fool's errand. Why would you do such a thing? If you don't like me, fine. You one less person I have to deal with. That's the mindset. You don't have time to be trying to convince somebody to like you, especially if you've done these things. If you turn your life over to God, if you honor yourself and your prized possession with self-loyalty, if you take care of your body, if you protect your energy, if you've created a routine for the important things in your life and don't waste time, if you stop regretting the past, how you going to be trying to convince somebody to befriend a person like that? If that person don't want to befriend you, they not meant to be in your life. You are becoming great. You are on that path to becoming great. So anyone who doesn't want to be a part of that, it's because they're not meant to be. Stop thinking you need people who don't want to be needed. Stop wanting people who don't want to be wanted by you. Stop trying to bond with people who don't want to bond with you. Stop chasing people's affection. Stop chasing people's acceptance. Stop chasing people's validation. Fake validation will never help a situation. Stop doing it. It's not worth it. It's never going to be worth it. You have to wrap your mind around the concept that not only is not everybody going to like you, most people aren't going to like you. Don't worry about everybody not supporting you. Most people are not going to support you. Your biggest enemies come from the people that know you. And they're not enemies of yours because you're bad. They're enemies of yours because they're bad. Stop trying to make bad people appreciate your goodness. Bad people don't appreciate nothing. Stop trying to make selfish people appreciate your selflessness. Selfish people only appreciate selfish people. They don't even appreciate what selfless people do for them. They appreciate their own selfishness more. Stop trying to influence people to see you the way you see yourself, and just focus on the way you see yourself. And if people can't see that, then you got to ask yourself why you're trying to force them to see it. Because here's what you got to do. And you may say, well, how do I do that? Like, how do I know? How do I get these people from around me because they've been around me for so long? I'll tell you. Surround yourself with people who love your character. Not people who always, I love you, I love you, I love you. No, because you can love me and love, what I do for you. Surround yourself with people who love your character. People who think you're great. People who look at you and the way you are and the way you carry yourself and the things you believe in and the way you live. And they think that makes you great. That's your character. People have to love your character. People have to be proud to say, this is my friend, this is my brother, this is my son, this is my uncle, this is my cousin, this is my boss, this is my employee, this is my man, this is my woman. People have to be proud to say that. They have to appreciate what you bring to their lives personally, not financially, what your presence means to their lives. Those are people who appreciate your character. People who are always asking you for something and always trying to get something from you. Man, those people don't appreciate your character. Stop fooling yourself into believing somebody can appreciate you when all they do is have their hand out all the time. Stop believing that somebody who said, I love you, I love you, I love you, really, really know what that word means. Most people don't know what that word means, so I take it with a grain of salt when people say it. I prefer the word appreciation. And appreciation is shown with what? Actions. Stay away from words. People can say anything. You ever been around a 3 or 4-year-old kid that's speaking to you in the way and you're like, wow, I feel like I'm talking to an adult. I'm talking, they talking not just the fact that they mastered proper pronunciation and diction. I'm talking about the topics that they're talking about. 3 or 4-year-old is talking to you about, how the birds make nests and how, the babies have to learn to fly. And if they don't, then they might get eaten by a cat or a snake. You got to be that, wait, what? That's how you have to be when it comes to people. You have to let people know that your actions are what matters to me. And if they don't show you actions, then you can't let their words give you no satisfaction. You simply can't do it. It'll take you in a direction in life that you don't want to go, man. You'll end up wasting so much of your time, effort, and energy on people who don't deserve it that you'll never recover from that. It's hard to recover from that, And I'll tell you another thing. Here's what you got to do to protect yourself. If you've been offended by someone, or someone has done something to you terrible, or someone has crossed you, or someone has disrespected you, you got to cut off everyone you can't forgive. If you can't forgive a person, cut them off. You can't be around them if you can't forgive them. Even if you don't feel terrible about what they did anymore and you've overcome it and you've moved on with your life, if you can't forgive someone, cut them off. Because if you can't forgive them, their value to you is minimal anyway. Someone you can't forgive, you view them as your enemy. Why have your enemies around you? That keep your friends close, keep your enemies close, keep your friends close, or whatever it is. That's just foolishness that people say. I'm talking about in real life. If you can't forgive someone, then they don't deserve to be around you because they have crossed you in a way that you can't get over. If you're over it until they come around, then they're the problem. They did something so terrible that they don't deserve to be in your presence. And you got to be ready to do that. It don't matter who it is. And a lot of times people can't do that because there's always somebody close to us who does us dirty like that. You got many people out here, man, that have a terrible relationship with their parents because they keep trying to force something with a parent that never gave a crap about them. You know what I mean? And their parents showed with their actions. You know what's worse than an absent parent? A present parent that treats you like they wish they were absent. You know what I mean? With an absent parent, there's always the what if. There's always the I wonder. There's always does this person, but with a present parent that treats you like they wish they were absent, it treats them like they wish you were absent. Man, man, you can't overcome that. That'll destroy your life, dog. That'll ruin you. That'll ruin you. And if that was your life growing up, man, you know you can't forgive that person. You can't forgive that person. So when I meet people, and I meet people who had terrible situations, I've been blessed with a gift where people open up to me and tell me their life story. And so I know some people's lives and that they just felt comfortable opening up to me. It's a gift from God. But man, I have heard people, man, give testimonies about things that they went through with someone, and they still just get along with the person. They force themselves to get along with the person because when they talk about it, they always have an excuse for why they deal with the person. Well, I know, but this and they don't understand the energy of that person attached to you like that. It drains you. That's why you're always trying to find a way to justify it because it's wearing you out. Is making you pour out parts of your soul that person doesn't deserve to have access to, and they've already shown you that they don't care nothing about you. So you got to cut everyone off you can't forgive. And here's the thing: all of these things that we've done so far, and everything on this list, amount to this. Before we go any further, let me say this: stop letting people who can't forgive you guilt trip you. If you can't forgive me, then you are going to go that way and I'm going to go this way. We're going to part ways. Because if you can't forgive me, you're going to guilt trip me forever. You ever heard people in a relationship and one person commits infidelity and the other partner says, okay, we'll work it out, but they never can let it go and it always comes up and they want to throw it in the person's face and want to make the person feel bad about it? That's because that person can't forgive you. No one should work through that. If you have done something and a person can't forgive you, you have ruined that relationship. You have ruined that situation. So it makes no sense to be there and stay in a situation where someone can't forgive you. You got to go ahead and split because they're going to guilt trip you. And one thing you're not going to do to me, you're not going to guilt trip me. If I did something, we have discussed it. It has been on the table. It has been ironed out. Everything that can be said about it has been said about it, and it has been rectified. And it's one of those things where I acknowledge what I've done and all of that. And you still think you're gonna guilt trip me? No, you're not. You can try, but you're gonna try from a distance where I ain't gonna hear it. I'm not gonna let anybody do that to me, and you can't either. No matter who you are, don't let anybody do that to you. And that goes for everyone. Male, female, don't let anybody do that to you. Keep you on a hook so they can, because really when somebody just want to keep you around so they can guilt trip you about something, man, that's mental and emotional abuse, man. That's what it is. Because they'll have you jumping through hoops trying to fix it and make it right and trying to recover from it and trying to put it in the past, and you'll be doing 10 times the things you've ever done before. You was already doing a lot. And they know deep down inside they're never gonna forgive you. But they want to see you sweat. They want to see you. Their payback for you in a situation like this is for you to keep giving, 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 and having hope that y'all gonna be able to work it out when deep down inside they already know y'all not gonna be able to work it out. They already know it. They're not planning on giving you the opportunity. They just want to see how much you're willing to do. Man, get out of that situation. You don't deserve to be in that. Because here's what you got to do. Stop making yourself responsible for other people's happiness and comfort. You got to stop doing that. If I brought you in this world, I'm responsible for your I'm responsible for your comfort, not your happiness. I'm responsible for your provision, your protection, and your direction. That's it. Anything if those things don't make you happy, I ain't got anything to do with it. I'm not finna be jumping through flame or hoops with gasoline drawers on trying to make somebody happy. I'm gonna take care of my responsibilities. Whatever responsibilities I have to you or for you or with you, I'm gonna take care of those responsibilities. But I'm not gonna be on the hook for somebody's happiness and comfort. I'm just not gonna do it. If my provision and protection don't provide you the comfort, I'm not doing no extra. Because here's the thing you got to understand: providing and protecting for anyone, for a family, for children, for a wife, for your whole family, for generations, man, it is hectic. It takes a lot of effort and energy to do that. And so I'm doing that. You still want me to do extra? No. Don't have anyone trying to have you do everything. You'll wear yourself thin. You won't have anything left for yourself. You won't have anything left for the Most High. You won't have anything left for, bro. You have to understand that there's only so much of you. You only have so much energy. You only have so much strength. You only have so much focus. You only have so much drive. You only have so much determination. You can't let yourself go run thin trying to take care of everybody else's happiness and comfort and joy. We go back to number 2. Honor yourself as your prized possession with self-loyalty. That's what you got to do. That's what this is about. Honoring yourself with self-loyalty. That way, you don't have to worry about making yourself responsible for other people's happiness and comfort. Because see, people will cross that line and they'll try happiness and comfort until you buying them everything they want. Until you get them. That's why, man, I don't celebrate people's birthdays. And I haven't. This has been decades. I don't do it. So nobody can say, well, you did it all this time. No, you don't. But even if you did, even if you decided today that you ain't celebrating birthdays no more, you force that on people. Because the only way you ain't really forcing it on them. You forcing it on yourself. You're making sure that you don't come back off that. Man, I don't do that. I don't celebrate nobody. You know what I'm saying? I celebrate the Most High. I only celebrate myself. I don't celebrate my own birthday. You understand? I celebrate the Most High. I celebrate God, dog. That's it. I don't celebrate humans. I never have. Humans are meant to be celebrated. Humans aren't great enough to be celebrated. All glory goes to God. How am I gonna get some glory to humans? I tell y'all this one too, man. I tell you this one too. Stop trying to prove your value to people who only value monetary possessions. That's part of the reason why you're trying to make yourself responsible for other people's happiness and comfort, because you're surrounding your people with people who yourself with people that you got to try to prove your value to by buying them stuff. The more you buy, the more you got to try. And you will find yourself going broke. And you'll be broken and broke because you've done all of these things and bought all of these things and purchased all of these things. Hey, if only reason you're dealing with me is because I do financial things for you. Hey, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Because I'm not doing that. I'm not buying anyone. It doesn't matter what our past is, what our present is, no matter what you hope our future is. I'm not buying anyone. So even when it come down to, something like legal marriage, if I was gonna do that, man, I want to get a birthstone. The most important stone in your life, your birthstone. You want a stone? Let's see what your birthstone is. I'm not finna go buy nobody no 5-10 carat diamond ring. I'm not finna do that. If that's what it takes, I'm not finna go. Man, I'm not finna spend $100,000, $150,000 on a wedding. I'm not finna do that. I'm not doing any of that. And it's just not worth it, because that is a sign that someone needs to be bought in order to be with you. There's men out who pay their wife $250,000 a year. She don't have to do nothing. Don't lift a finger. That's nothing to brag about, because you have to know who is around you, because they value your character. And until you have people around you who value your character, you don't know what experiencing human interaction really is. You don't know what it is. Ask anybody with a little kid. Ask anybody with a little kid who thinks you're a superhero. A little kid who thinks you're the greatest. Most people only get that from kids. Most people don't have the luxury of interacting with adults who think you're the best thing since sliced bread. It's a different ball game. People who they're overjoyed just to be in your presence, just to be able to spend time with you, just to enjoy your company, just to take advantage of the gems you always drop when you spitting wisdom. Man, that's a blessing. Until you experience that, you don't know what rich is. The richness of life is to be appreciated for who you are and what you know. That's the blessing. You know what I mean? And so I say this to you, man. Anybody who wants you to prove your value by giving them monetary things, man, don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't make sense. Now, I'm not saying helping people is a monetary thing. Don't help nobody. I'm not saying that. I'm saying people who, and you'll know this, man, because people will tell you, people will deal with you differently if you tell them no. Tell them yes 2 times, then tell them no the third time. Man, they'll deal with you differently. But what you got to do is say, okay, that person is cut off. You don't get to come back after you deal with me differently. You can't ask me for nothing else. That's exactly how it's gonna be. We ain't gonna have no discussion about it. I don't have to have a discussion with you about things I know. I don't have to give you an opportunity to try to explain it away. I know what I'm looking at. I trust my wisdom. I trust my understanding. I trust my knowledge. I know what I'm looking at. So if this is the result that I get when I'm dealing with you, you cut off. And most people can't do that. Most people don't have the intestinal fortitude to do that because it means you're gonna lose some people that you're used to having around. And most people can't do that. And so the reason they can't do that is number 12. You got to embrace the power of being alone. Most people don't even know the power of being alone. They look at it as some great accomplishment that, ooh, I don't go crazy when I'm by myself. That's not the power of being alone. The power of being alone is being able to have time to cultivate your gifts uninterrupted, to progress down all the paths that you have set for yourself without impedance. You understand me? That's the power of being alone. The power of being alone is people being out of the way. Is you only having to deal with your decisions. You only having to deal with the consequences of your actions. You only having to focus on the thing that you want to focus on, that you need to focus on, that you have to focus on. That's the power of being alone. It's not just to say, hey, I don't need anyone. That's not the power of being alone. The power of being alone is becoming a champion, practicing, learning who you are, becoming more of that, learning what parts of you are not even who you want to be, just some you picked up along the way. These are very important things in the development of a human being. Now, by a certain point in life, we're supposed to be there, but it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 60 right now. If you're not at that point, get there now. As long as you're alive, you have time. If you're not alive anymore, nothing matters anyway. So you got to do that, man. You got to embrace the power of being alone. You know, another thing about the power of being alone? Peace. Because listen, when I'm not talking, y'all tell me what y'all hear. Let's take about 10 seconds. I'm not going to say anything. Y'all tell me what y'all hear. You see what I mean? Peace. Quiet. Until you get some peace and quiet, you won't understand how much noise interferes with your thoughts. You won't understand just how being in an eardrum barrage of noises and voices and all these different elements that make all of these sounds, you never understand that. And that's why most people have such a hard time acclimating to being alone, to being in peace, because they're so used to performing through the chaos that they don't understand how to perform in peace. The chaos almost becomes a part of the soundtrack that they perform to. And you got to detach yourself from the chaos. You got to detach yourself from needing the chaos to be around you, because the chaos, man, it'll ruin you, dog. It'll ruin you, man. All right, y'all look at what UK Prince say. I moved in the wilderness of Judah myself, my G. Listen, man, you gotta slide. You gotta back away from the rigmarole. You gotta back away from the chaos. All right. Next thing I want y'all to understand is this. Remember this. Life is a learning experience. That's all it is. This path you're traveling is just a learning experience. When you're in your 30s, you're learning how to live in your 40s. When you're in your 40s, you're learning how to live in your 50s. When in your 50s, hopefully you are learning how to live in your 60s and beyond, because the learning curve changes at that point. But every step of the way, man, every decade you learn how to live the next decade. Because in order to live from 30 to 40, you can't do any of the crazy stuff, the immature stuff, and the chaotic things that you were doing from 20 to 30. In order to live from 40 to 50, there's a bunch of things you have to eliminate that you did when you from 30 to 40. It's about learning lessons. That's all life is about. Learning and eliminating things. If you notice, you'll see somebody that's 25 and they'll be partying every single week. You see that same person at 45, they don't go nowhere. They don't go nowhere. Why? Because just think about all of the time something happens at a club or something happens at a party or something happens just on the street late at night and somebody end up losing their life that they ain't had nothing to do with it. But if you go through that, by the time you're 45, you're like, man, ain't the chaos out there ain't worth what I'm getting out of it. Especially when you start taking care of if you take care of your body and you don't put no substances or anything like that in there, bro, and you watch what you eat, what business you got at a club? What business you got at a pub, a bar, a party? What business you got at any of that? If you decide you're going to take care of your body, what business you got up being up at 2 a.m. in the club, and you taking care of your body and you eating right and you working out and you meditating and you getting the proper amount of sleep? What business you got up in there? Once you start taking care of yourself, you fall away from a bunch of negative things that you have no business taking care of, man. You just don't have it, man. So you gotta remember that life is a learning experience, and there's only mistakes from lessons unlearned. You didn't make no mistakes. Sometimes relationships are meant to be ruined. You didn't make a mistake because their relationship is over. You didn't make a mistake because you and that person don't get along. You didn't make a mistake because you and that person don't talk. You didn't make a mistake because you could never go to that job again. It doesn't matter what that result was. Did you learn the lesson from it? Because that's in the past now. And so if you're faced with that situation again, you got to know how to navigate it. That's what the lessons are. The only mistakes are lessons unlearned. If you left some lessons unlearned, yeah, you got to bump your head again on the same thing. We can't live our lives bumping our head on the same wall. Eventually, you're going to knock the wall down and have number holes in it. Yeah, you're going to have a hole in your head, one or the other. So there's only mistakes from lessons unlearned. Learn the lessons in life. Learn the lessons in every situation. Sometimes there's only one lesson, but don't leave a situation until the lesson has been learned. And until you learn that lesson, leave no stone unturned. Future life in the positive is earned, not given. And it's earned by learning these lessons. Every decade you get graded or how well you did in the past 10 years. So when your age changes, that's a decade. When your age go from 20 something to 30 something, that's a decade. And that's just how it is, man. Everything is time, everything is numbers. And the last thing I want to say to y'all, man, is dedicate 100% of your time to becoming the most alpha version of yourself. You don't have time to do anything else. You ain't listen, man. If you got a son, you ain't really got time to go out to no party. You ain't got time to do that. If you got time to do that, you need to be trying to get some rest so you can go do something with your son. You got a lesson you can teach your son. We got to stop playing with life. We got to be dedicated 100% of the time to being the best version of ourselves, because it's not just one area: mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. You got to be on the ball because you have too much work to do. You have too much to overcome. You have too much to make up. You have too much to fix. And then you have too much to turn around and teach the next generation after you. We don't have time to waste, man. You got to be dedicated 100%. Somebody about to go do some crap that's counterproductive. You can't do it. They about to go out drinking. Let them go out drinking. Man, let me tell y'all something, bro. I was when I'm traveling, bro, it's like this. If I'm traveling, let's say I'm taking a family trip, not a vacation. I don't look at family trips as vacation, family trip. So you got the little cousins and the nieces and the nephews and all that, and you got their parents. You got, you probably total you probably got about 25, 30 people. And we try to do this about once a year. But bro, when we slide, everybody eating all kinds of things, man. You can't dictate what people do. They do what they want to do, man. We sliding, bro. Man, I got grapefruits, and now I ain't gonna lie, I might splurge on some grapes too. I got grapefruits. I might have some grapes. I got some apples, maybe sliced up, maybe not. I got some lettuce and the homemade vinaigrette that I make, man. I got that. Nothing else, just the lettuce. And I'm riding, dog. While everybody else stopping, man, they may go to Chick-fil-A. They may take their kid to McDonald's. They may do all of that, bro. Listen, I don't play those games. I don't play them. You know what I mean? It just ain't gonna happen because I gotta worry about me. I gotta be dedicated 100% of the time. I can't take no time off. So even this, listen, man, I had a phenomenal dinner yesterday. Phenomenal dinner. Carved up, full of carbs. You know what I mean? Simple carbs. Not many, but I ate plenty of them. Okay, what that mean? On Monday, my carb low. Cause I gotta recover from that. You understand? I got to be dedicated 100% of the time to becoming the most out version of myself. So if I'm going to do that, I got to fix that. I got to make up for that. Because if not, I'm in a deficit. You know what I mean? The goal is to not be in a deficit when it comes to the effort you give yourself. You can't owe yourself effort. You can't owe yourself energy. You can't owe yourself focus. You can't owe yourself determination. You can't owe yourself effort. Pay yourself first. Before you ever get anybody else effort, give it to yourself. Before you give everybody else focus, give it to yourself. Before you give anybody else any drive, determination, willpower, give it to yourself. Got to give it to yourself. And that's just how it is, man. So listen, man, I appreciate y'all being in the joint. Got a couple super chats up here, man. I appreciate these guys, man. Mikey Fresco, appreciate the 5 bones, man. Thanks for always delivering a great message. Been tuned in since 2019, man. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Glad to see you still getting value from the information too, man. I appreciate you. UK Prince, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I saw you say earlier, man. You normally on you normally busy, but you on time today. Hey, man, listen, I appreciate you being in the joint, bro. I really do appreciate you being in the joint. I just got rid of my chat. All right, there it is. I appreciate you being in the joint, man. So listen, I appreciate y'all, man. Famo, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna start back posting the BOA Cash App in here too, man. I was trying to run 2 Cash Apps, man, but so listen, anybody, if you sending something to a King Ray Ray Cash App, don't do it. It's not mine. Some kind of way somebody don't worry about it, don't do it. So we just rolling with the BOA, Doc BOA. Dr. BOA, that's what we're rolling with. So y'all don't send that to any King Ray Ray. Is not me. Don't do it. All right, man. So listen, I appreciate y'all being in the joint, man. Listen, y'all put God first, keep grinding and growing. I got another dope topic for y'all tomorrow, man. We got a line of topics, man. We're gonna run this channel up this month, man. I got a line up of topics for y'all, man. And so we'll be back in this thing tomorrow, man. Again, to do it like we're supposed to do it. Y'all put God first, keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace.